everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today we're going to talk about actually drawing pads and what we're going to use when we do what. For watercolor, what kind of paper do we need? For drawing a realistic portrait, what kind of papers do we need? We're going to learn in this video. In order to get the good results from your drawing, paper and the drawing pad is really important. You cannot, for example, fry French fries in olive oil, right? Or you cannot use gas in diesel car. So that's like that. You have to actually match the pencil and the notepad or the paint. If you're on a budget, if you don't think that you want to buy all these kinds of different drawing pads, please just buy one and you can start with it. If you want to do watercolor, you can just get the watercolor paper and you'll be fine. So I just want to show you what I have and what we will be doing in my tutorials. The first one that I want to show is the difference between the sketchbook and a drawing book. A sketch pad says sketch and a drawing pad says drawing. So it's very easy. But what's the difference? Actual sketch sketch paper has fine tooth surface. Tooth is basically how the surface of the paper is. If it has tooth, then you can get more realistic results in your drawings. If it's finer, the surface is smoother, and for smoother surfaces, unfortunately, you don't get as much detail from charcoal or graphite drawings. But with ink or with fine pencils, you can have great results in sketchbook. But it's also very thin, so you want to make sure that if you want to have a high quality portrait or drawing, then probably you should prefer the drawing pad, not the sketch pad. We look at that, it's 60 pounds. That's pretty good. And all of them, by the way, says acid free. So I want to tell you the importance of acid free. So the paper has acid in it basically, and if you keep the acid in, then they deteriorate. You know, the newspapers, for example, are made of acidic paper. So what do you have after 2 or 3 years later? You know, it gets yellowy color, it gets like a little bit darker on edges. That's because of the acid in it, and these are acid free. Most of the drawing pads are acid free these days, so it is important to have. Drawing pads, and as I said, they have a better tooth. It's like medium surface or heavyweight surface. This is medium surface. It's just like half smooth, half, I would say, rough, and it's 80 pounds, as you can see. Watercolor. So watercolor pad is thick. It's called heavyweight. So it says cold press, and there's also hot press. I'm going to be using cold press in my videos, and these are pretty thick papers because it needs to absorb the water, of course, and it shouldn't basically have wrinkles or those kind of bumps. Once the paper gets wet, if it becomes wrinkled, then your color starts to pull in certain places, and it just really doesn't look good. So if you want to do watercolor with me, you should buy one of these. It says 140. Toned paper, toned gray paper, you can find them in gray, or you can find them in other colors, like I would say tan color. They're pretty good and they turn out pretty well, especially in the realistic portraits studies. This one has medium surface. I chose medium surface. It has a very nice actually texture. I don't know if you can see when I zoom in, but it has really nice, it's smooth, but at the same time it has a very nice natural texture to it. It's perfect for drawing, and it's 118 grams, so it's like, again, 80 pounds. It's great to draw on, but again, you don't have to buy that one if you don't want to. And finally, I don't know how I'm gonna carry this to show you. It's a little bit big. Okay, so this is vellum surface, Bristol 300 series. Vellum surface is great in terms of drawing charcoal and graphite. It's pretty thick, and the surface is like smooth, but it still has tooth. So you have this nice medium surface that you can work on, and it gives a very nice texture to it. And you can actually catch really nice tones of graphite when you have vellum surface drawing pad. That's all I have. Again, if you don't want to buy everything here, if you just want to do drawing, have the drawing pad that I showed you, maybe with medium surface, yeah. And if you want to do watercolor, get a watercolor one, and you're all set. So you don't need all these papers that I showed you. Maybe after you improved, you can get all the other ones. It's all up to you, but this is all you have to know. Now we know all about the paper, so we can start drawing. Let's do it.